Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to be looking at Judges chapter 7. This is part of the story of Gideon. Now, who is Gideon? Gideon was one of the judges in Israel. Who were the judges? The judges were the people that God called to help God's people live the way God wanted them to live in the Promised Land. So remember, the people have been through the wilderness, they reached the edge of the Promised Land, they conquered Jericho, and now they're in the land. The thing to remember, though, is that there are people already living in this land. So the people of Israel have a very tough decision ahead of them. Are they going to stay faithful to God, or are they going to just be a part of this surrounding culture? Well, many of them, if not all of them, end up going with the surrounding culture. They ignore all that God has done for them, and they end up worshiping the gods of this land. They end up intermarrying some of the people who live there. So this is a very bad thing. So God calls the judges to call the people back to right behavior. So the judges are the ones who are basically in charge right now. Gideon is one of those judges. Gideon is also a military leader. And in this particular scene, the Midianites have come upon the people of Israel. This is a surrounding nation, and they've started a battle with Israel. The reason for that is the text says that this is punishment from God for the bad behavior that Israel has done. So Gideon is trying to lead his army to fight against the Midianites. Well, in this scene, we hear that Gideon has 32,000 men in his army. God tells Gideon, you have too many soldiers. Here's what I want you to do. Tell those soldiers that if any of you are scared of fighting, you can leave and go home. So Gideon tells them this, and a lot of them leave. God then tells Gideon, you still have too many soldiers, Gideon. Here's what I want you to do. Take all of your soldiers down to the river and have them drink. Those soldiers who put their face in the water and lap it with their tongue like dogs, you shall keep in your army. Those who go down to the river, put their hands in the water, and scoop their hands up to their mouths to drink, those you shall remove from your army. So Gideon takes his men down to the water and tells them to drink. Only 300 of them put their face in the water and lap like dogs. Gideon tells all the others to leave. So Gideon started off with 32,000 soldiers, and now he's down to 300. This is less than 1% of what he started with. Now imagine what Gideon feels right now, right? At the beginning, he must have been so proud that he had this huge army. But this is why God tells him to reduce his army. Because the army might say, hey, look at how wonderful and powerful we are. We did all this. We're so big in number and so powerful. Look at how we conquered the Midianites. They will take all the credit for themselves instead of giving the credit to God. Well, going from 32,000 to 300, if it works out, then you have to give all the credit to God. Because there's no way that a group of 300 could take on the Midianites. But they do. God works through this small group and conquers the Midianites. The beautiful thing in this story is the reminder to us that strength is not always in numbers. So often we think it is. So often we fall into this trap like the soldiers in Gideon's army. And we think because we have so many people, so many members, so much money, so much whatever, that then when we're successful, it's all because of us. When it's small, when Gideon has only this army of 300 and they succeed, then they give all the credit and glory to God. This is why God reduces the numbers in the first place, so that they'll know that it was God working through them. When we see small groups in this world doing amazing things, that's God at work. That's not to say God can't work through large groups of people, because God does, like working through large congregations. God can do great things through them. But God can also do great things through smaller groups too. And when successful and wonderful things happen, then that group is reminded to give all the glory and praise and honor to God, because by themselves they wouldn't have been able to do this. But it only happened because of God. There's your 5-minute Bible study for today. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.